My name is Jason Fox. I'm the State Training Coordinator for AmeriMed Tennessee. I've been a volunteer with the local fire department for over 22 years. I've had the pleasure of serving as firefighter, training officer, assistant chief, and chief. I first got in public safety in 1991. I started out with the volunteer fire department, and I've always had a desire to help my patients. So with my training as a volunteer fireman, I was limited in some of my abilities. So I first went to EMR school, then advanced to EMT, paramedic, and then critical care. And during that journey of my education, I was influenced by some very intelligent educators that helped mold and shape who I was. One of my favorite lessons that I learned is when our class instructor stood in front of the classroom with a plain old drug box and his two hands. And he said, "Of these, what do you think has helped more patients? Do you think it is the drug box, or do you think it is my hands?" Well, being the new and enthusiastic student, I chose the drug box. After all, that's where all the medicines was. That's where all the difference was made. And he quickly educated me that I was wrong. That as an educator or as a provider, we help more people with a kind word and a gentle touch than we can ever do with medicine. So that first intrigued me to want to become an educator. As a provider, when we're helping someone, we're typically helping one patient at a time, or maybe it's an MCI. We could be helping 2 to 3 patients. But as an educator, our impact and our outreach can span across the state. So I've watched AmeriMed now for about 1.5 years from a distance, and I have seen the work that they are performing. I have watched in the distance, and I've seen the patient outcomes. I've seen the patient-centered care. I've seen the as it should be's. That's really what drew me to AmeriMed, is the patient care that they're delivering. So I've kind of watched and lack of better words, interviewed AmeriMed for 1 year now to see if it was the right fit for me, and I believe it is. How do I stay focused on doing the right thing when no one's watching? To me, it's very simple. I treat every patient as if they're my mother. When people talk about morals and ethics, and while they are important, to me, I simplify that. If this was my mother, if this was my family member in this current situation, what would I do for them? Well, if it's good enough for my family, it's good enough for your family. When I think about AmeriMed, I think about patient-centered care. We're serving a population that is very often underserved, and with AmeriMed, we make those patients a priority. As the training coordinator for AmeriMed Tennessee, I am looking forward to the opportunity of empowering our providers to become even better than they already are. Education is a foundation for everything we do. If we want better patient outcomes, it all starts with education.